We're moving on to Jackson's pick of the week, Metropolis.
Oh, dear God.
Wow.
Now, Tanner, I'm assuming you fucking loved this movie, dude, so how about you give her a little summary here?
I don't know if I'd say I loved it.
Oh, man.
You seem like you would love this movie.
I want to see if you can give this a summary, because I was kind of lost.
I'm the only person that's seen this movie before. I saw it in a history of film class.
Oh, God.
This film is a piece of German expressionism.
I want to call it a piece of junk, personally.
This style of movie has a name, right? Where it's
German expressionism. The thing I just said.
It's a silent film.
Oh, okay. So it's just, I was mainly talking about where it's like video, no talking, and then you just get a frame of words.
Yeah, silent film.
Okay.
Yeah, they call those talkies.
No, they didn't.
They definitely don't.
That's not until they could talk. Idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
We call them reedies.
The basic plot is you have, this city of the future, this utopia, Metropolis, and it's got you got your poor people that are running the machines and the infrastructure shit in the city, and then you got your rich people, and they're literally prancing around in gardens and fucking whores and shit like that, and this young aristocrat, he becomes disillusioned with his way of life, and he discovers the working class, and he takes up their struggle, and then there's some mixed messages based on what's happening, but they do start sort of an uprising. The rich people are they're gonna make robots that'll replace the working class people, and the working class, they will rise up, but then it's the system starts crumbling, and then they realize, well, fuck, when we start working, it's our shit that gets destroyed. That's not good. And then they stop that, and then the Whore of Babylon shows up. Yeah, the robot replaces the girl. The girl...
The stick behind the robot is that, their elites are trying to start an uprising to basically, take more control over the society. So they create, basically, the prophet of, the poor people. They create a replica of her so that they can manipulate them into, starting an uprising, which they can then, quell and take more control over everything.
Or something.
I looked up a few things about this, trying to just figure out what the fuck was going on. That's what my takeaway was, they were trying to just, do that so they can manipulate the people more. Which is what happened and what we saw. Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I think this movie is pretty neat. It's a piece of history, really. I
think I overall view it similar to how I view Fritz the Cat.
For better or for worse, I suppose.
The story is somewhat novel, considering it was made in 1927. There is one really, really cool thing in here that actually jumped out to me, and that's when
the biblical imagery.
One of them, yeah. That's the scene. It's when our main character guy he gets down to where the workers are for the first time, and he's checking things out, and then there's that big accident at the machine, and he has this vision where it turns into Moloch, and you have the workers that are marching into its mouth like human sacrifices, whatever. I watched that, I'm like, man, that is a better visual analogy to express some distaste in capitalism than anyone has done in the last 100 years since.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was not aware that was a vision. I thought that's actually happening in the movie.
You thought, what?
Yeah.
How do you think it turned back into just a machine?
This movie did a lot of wacky things, Tanner.
Great question, dude. Great question.
No, it was a metaphor, you dumbass.
You look away for 1 second, it's gone.
Why were there people in Aztec costumes at one point before the workers started marching in?
I assumed that the machine breaking down opened up some sort of portal to hell or some shit. That's what I assumed was happening.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a very visually cool scene and does a good job communicating some, social messages and stuff.
Apparently, could have done it better. Overall, I think this movie is really fucking boring.
Yeah.
Tanner's rolling his eyes right now, but it's to be expected. This is from a much earlier time, and, around here, we very much so abide by the idea of old bad, new good. So, yeah, Metropolis, maybe try a little harder and be made in a more modern time, okay?
What a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, I can appreciate all the things this movie does. Obviously, it was super revolutionary for its time. Like, the way they did the set design and all, like, the special effects and shit were super ahead of their time. And it's really impressive to see all this shit happening, in the 1920s, which is crazy. Super long, almost 100 years ago. But yeah, this movie, it was definitely, it's a different time. This movie really fucking lags in a lot of spots. Scenes just hang on for a very long time and just totally waste your fucking time. The acting wasn't that great, to be honest. There's many scenes that were just, like, baffling to watch. Like, the one, like, the scene that really stands out to me in that is when Mary, or whatever her name is, like, running away from the dude that's trying to capture her. And she's, like, they're literally shining, like, the light directly on her, and she's just, like, trying to, like, not get seen or something, and she's, like, convulsing at the thought of, like, being caught or something as it, like,
Listen,
fall on
man,
her.
It's stage acting. They're trying to communicate
emotions.
emotions.
Overacted, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. I thought it was stupid.
They can't use words. They need to express how they feel with their body movements, dude.
It also doesn't help that the version of this movie you put on the Plex server, like, did not have the English translations for the title cards.
I downloaded the one I could, so yeah, no, you can turn on subtitles.
Did you not have English subtitles?
Did you not have subtitles on?
No.
Oh, Lord.
And he enjoyed it more than us. That's the one.
I didn't think subtitles would do anything.
Yikes. What do you mean you didn't think subtitles? Can you read German?
Listen, man, I didn't. I thought my assumption was subtitles only apply to spoken words.
Yeah, no, basically just put whatever the word said underneath it. But, yeah, and then, I don't know, like, when the Mary was doing the goofy-ass dance, it was just supposed to look sexy or something.
Bro,
I was cracking up. Like, she was, like, hitting the fucking gritty and shit. It was super fucking crazy looking, and then, like, it cuts to the guys, the effect with, like, all the eyes and stuff was pretty cool, but when they're actually just, like, showing the guys, ogling her, looked fucking hilarious, like,
literal animals. Yeah, I literally have... Huh?
Ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of things that really just do not stand the test of time, but I appreciate a lot that this movie was doing for its era.
Yeah.
I kind of just assumed she was, like, casting a spell on him or something,
Okay,
and that's why she was, like, being all weird and they were reacting that way.
It's a robot for one thing, so I don't know how that would work, but
it's a magic
robot.
I definitely put in my notes what the fuck is this dancing scene, so I completely relate with you there, Jackson. I'm looking through my notes here, and the only positive thing I think I said about this movie out of any of it is the movie score is incredible. Other than that, I don't really have anything positive to say about this movie. One of the things is, like, they literally forgot the children, even though I'm pretty sure they're like, do we have all the men, women, and children going up? And they're like, yeah, everybody's here, there's nobody left. And then, the entire underground proceeds to flood, in which, like, somehow 3 adults managed to get all the kids above ground, because somehow it's that down there flooding. Also, the robot...
What they really forgot was the color. Like, why is it in black and white? What's up with that, guys?
Maybe because it was filmed in 1927.
They did an event color then.
Was it kind of weird that also the film was, like, sped up in, like, 80 to 90% of the whole thing? Was it just
They did speed it up a lot.
I felt like it was, like, a majority...
Ass.
Yeah. Like, it was just really... I put here, like, my first note... This is probably a really terrible note to have, but I said this movie looks horrifically doctored. And that was for just many reasons. Just the fact of, like, telling where the film roll begins and ends. Because, like, I distinctly remember, like, this one scene where he's, like, up on, like, this high-rise or whatever. Because he, like, ran up to, like, go... find somebody or do something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And he's, like, in between the cars, and then all of a sudden he, like, jumps to him being, like, on the edge of, like, the freeway, looking over, like, the edge. And just stuff like that. I don't really know if I have... I put this movie as symbolism for something, but I definitely don't know what.
Capitalism.
I kind of figured that's what it was. I
think it's more like industrialization, but whatever.
Which would have made sense back in
the gap between the working and upper class.
The main character getting his ass beat by an old man. I thought that was pretty funny.
Tanner, because of this film's messaging, shouldn't you, like, hate it, though?
No, I think it is more like a message about, like, industrialization, whatever. And, like, I don't think the upper class, like, they don't particularly, in my opinion, get depicted as being like useless or like evil, really. I mean, there's the mad scientist guy, but aside from it, like when we first see him, it is those guys in business suits, and they're like fucking frantically doing all these calculations I guess they have to do to keep the city running and whatever. Yeah. It's not like this really immature, just like, all rich people bad.
Well, we see them ogling that woman, meaning they're deviant, so we shouldn't look at them highly.
We see the poor people do that too.
Yeah, what's your fucking point, Tanner?
The rich people are depicted with devil horns, bro. They wear goat heads throughout the whole movie.
I will say...
Don't recall that.
I did give this movie the benefit of the doubt and acknowledge the fact that it was from the late 20s. I didn't hate the movie. I did think it was incredibly boring. And I do think they did the best with what they had. But unfortunately, it just wasn't appealing to me. So, all in all, that's just my general thought on the movie.
I'll tell you what, though. I can't wait to watch the other Metropolis. That shit'll be sweet.
Yeah, it was one from like 2001 or something, right? Is that what it was?
Yes, sir. I think that was the one that I was supposed to pick in the first place. Again, I can't remember. It was basically a toss-up.
Definitely animated.
I don't even know if it was. I can't remember. I watched some like YouTube video that was talking about like maybe the history of movies or something. I think this was the one I was supposed to pick of the two Metropolises, because in my list I just had Metropolis. I didn't have a year. I'm happy we got this one down anyways. I mean, it's a piece of film history.
It's a piece of junk is what it is.
Yeah, it's the oldest movie we've seen by 50 fucking years.
Well, I don't think we'll get an older movie, will we?
Probably
There's
will.
so many
it's
older
not 50
movies.
years. It'd be like a little less than 40 because of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a 50s movie. Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tanner's going to make that
like
gap
30
even
years.
smaller, though, when he
Planet of
picks
the Apes
Dirt
was
Gold.
great, though. I liked Planet of the Apes. That was a great movie.
Planet of the Apes was a lot better than this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Planet of the Apes is also boring, but say la vie.
Anyways, any final thoughts? Alright, I'm gonna kick us off. I was pretty mixed on this movie. I definitely think it was really fucking boring. It does not stand the test of time very well. But I appreciate what it was doing for its time. I'm giving this movie a D.
Dude, I'm liking that D. I'm gonna hand you another one. We're gonna give Tanner a couple of D's right here, and he's gonna give us the A.
Anyways, I'm gonna give it a C.
Oh, an average.
That doesn't work with my analogy at all.
Surprising. Yeah, I'm gonna round it out and give this movie a D-. I didn't give it an F because it was not a terrible movie.
Crazy.
And that puts us at a D+. Congratulations, guys. It's not terrible.